Aquarius, what's going on? Welcome into the channel. So happy to have you here always. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to look at your energy via the tarot, astrology, and any channeled messages that come through. So let's get into it. I apologize, these videos are coming out a little bit late. We're in Leo season and things have been like a little bit rocky. It was really chaotic for me. I ended up working a lot. So yesterday I was just a little bit down, or not like I was put down, I should say. I didn't have a lot of extra energy. And that's kind of how Leo season has been. You know, Cancer season has allowed us to create a stronger foundation for ourselves through love, through support, nurture, really validating ourselves, what we're experiencing, etc. And now we have to kind of put that into practice, really find our inner strength, our inner courage, our empowerment, so to speak, and actually like make harder decisions that are in alignment with ourselves, i.e. putting ourselves first. It can feel a little bit selfish. We all need to be selfish at times, right? In the right way, in the highest and best way, I guess, for everyone involved, I like to say. But this is about investment in ourselves. It's about really tuning in and listening to what is working for us and what is not, i.e. that Saturn and Neptune in retrograde in Aries. They're right on top of each other. And we're going to see Mercury is also in retrograde. We're going to actually see that lift this week. We also have a really harmonious transit between Venus and Jupiter, which adds a little bit more pep in our step. It adds a little more abundance in our path, which we kind of need. I feel like some of the payout for what we're experiencing, working through, learning through, etc., has not come with a lot of reward. That's definitely Saturn energy, though, unfortunately. Like the reward is in the learning lesson. Wah wah. But you know, that's why I like to start off the readings with an energy cleansing. Just set the tone, set the vibe for the reading. Cleanse out those places that we might be feeling blocked or limited, or we're having a hard time really like seeing our way through. It's also a great time to set your own intention for the reading as well, Aquarius, especially if something is on your heart, on your mind, something you would like Spirit to deliver messages to you around. Definitely give that over. Be open to receive. Spirit's always trying to connect with us and speak to us, guide us, direct us, however you want to understand it. But there's always messages here, is my point. And make sure not to like take ones that don't resonate. That's the other side of it, right? I try to keep it more energy focused versus specifically what's going on, but I actually do personal readings. I offer a variety of healing and wellness services. So even though on the videos I do the collective readings, would love to do a personal reading for you. Look at your specific situation, how it's faring, where it's headed. I also do energy healing and Ayurvedic wellness consultations. When we're aligned in ourselves, when we're like honoring, nurturing, supporting, building a strong foundation for ourselves, that's really where we're able to manifest our happiness, our abundance. And I would love to support that for you in whatever way possible. Definitely hit me up. All the info to get into contact with me is in the description box below. All right, Aquarius, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being so that we may see and understand the messages clearly and help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama Love. All right, Aquarius. So I feel like you're still kind of working through something. That was the energy I was picking up, like still making peace with something that's happened or just kind of still processing through some stuff that's happened. we're definitely seeing more harmonious transits in the astrology, which is welcome because, like I said, Leo season's been a little bit rough. It's been a little rough. It's been a little bit bumpy. A lot of this, again, is about like finding our own empowerment in the midst of people and situations that like might not be catering towards that or honoring that, just having that reciprocity. Virgo, as your overarching energy this week, really talks about like finding more grounding, finding more balance. Actually, Mars was just in Virgo. It's since moved this week to Libra, but Virgo is that energy of health, well-being, taking care of yourselves, making sure it's earth energy. So it is really about building that really strong foundation. And it does kind of feel like you're in a place where I think you're doing a lot of reflecting on the past of what you've been through. I feel like this is some of that processing that you're still doing. It looks like something positive has happened. Or maybe this was something that like you thought was going to be really positive, or like I'm almost hearing whatever you're processing through, it's like something that you kind of anticipated was going to go a little bit differently, but it hasn't. It hasn't, and I think that the reason or what it's showing is this is a lot about, well, we're in this time where we do really have to see through people and situations. And it's not always the easiest. It's not always the most clear cut. And what it looks like for you, Aquarius, is that you accepted an offer that I feel like you thought was going to be really good, or it did kind of have its blessings, or, you know, there were really good things that were attached to it. But I also feel like it's led you on this journey. It's led you on this pathway that's been a little bit twisty and turny, you know, as often is in life. But it does look like it's teaching you how to manifest. I think you did manifest this thing. I mean, I'm a believer that we're all manifesting all the time. Quantum physics has proven like attracts like. So that's that whole vibe of what you're thinking about yourself, what you're feeling about yourself, what you're like emanating to people. You're going to attract that back, or attract people that like take advantage of that or whatever, you know? And that's why, especially when they're in like the more self-deprecating feelings and thoughts, etc., I think that like whatever this offer was, to some capacity, it did fit a manifestation that you had. But I'm also hearing like something might not have been super developed. It's like when we have an idea of how we want something to look, but then it's like we don't really fill in all the gaps. So then when we get it, there's a lot that we have to kind of go through in order to make it a more solid thing in our life. Make it something that's actually practical and supportive versus not. It does look like it's going to be highlighting some illusion. And I do hear this as like things that you already know, things that you've already been picking up. 9 of Pentacles energy, the amount that you have to be self-sufficient or self-sustaining or really relying on yourself. And that goes back to that Saturn and Neptune in Aries, like where we have to trust in order to trust ourselves in order to align with what we truly want, and make sure that we're looking deep enough, vetting things deep enough. Some of this stuff, and this is how I'm seeing your energy this week, some of this stuff you just can't avoid, you know? It's just the way it was meant to go. And I kind of hate saying that because it feels like super cliche. It's a big cop-out, whatever. But I am also a firm believer in the fact that like we do experience certain people, certain situations for the lessons that they possess, you know? And it looks like, okay, so I'm seeing this a little bit more clearly, like whomever like gave you this offer, I think it looks like it was someone that you bought into, that you trusted, who maybe was not the most trustworthy individual. I'm going to take both of these. Okay. It looks like perhaps there was a couple people involved in this, people that were kind of feeding into this thought, belief that you had around someone, around a situation. But there definitely is some shady energy, and this goes back to the illusion. It looks like someone like either bash someone else or put someone else down or was kind of like talking bad about someone else to directly impact the way you thought or felt about the situation, you know? And I feel like it looks like as you are responding out of, like, it's forced you to get really clear on what you think and what you feel about a person, a dynamic that's happening. And I feel like it's almost like the more you give someone your trust and like the more you, like, it's almost like you agreed with someone who might have not been very upright. Is what I'm seeing. I'm sorry. But whatever. There was something that was attached to this that actually, like, it made it worth it to you for whatever reason, you know? But it looks like as things are kind of unfolding, it's forcing you to see it differently. And it does kind of look like something that you're definitely trying to grasp, because maybe you were so buying into this illusion that it's hard to let it go. It's hard to think otherwise, but then you're also dealing with some people that it's like hard to deny whatever's happening over here. Like, again, this is this value of like you kind of extending some sort of olive branch with the Three of Cups, like, hey, let's be friends, or like someone who's using you to get what they want, but then not really following through with, like, when it's like you want to build and grow that connection, if that makes sense. And I think this is a little bit humbling for you, Aquarius, because it is putting you in a position where you are going to have to acknowledge a lot of things that might be a little bit uncomfortable, things that it does look like you are already picking up. You have a good energy about you. Like, I'm seeing a lot of like innocence in the way that, like, you're not trying to like do someone down and dirty, or you're not like necessarily even looking at someone skeptically. I feel like this is someone or some people who are definitely playing behind the scenes. We have King of Wands, Queen of Swords, and Two of Wands. It really looks like people who just want to push their own agenda across. And maybe it's because they want things to be happy, well, and good in their nice little tidy package. But sometimes that's just not how life works. And whatever this is, it does feel more like someone pushing their agenda. And that's why sometimes these offers seem so good. And as it's playing out, as it's forcing you, like you're being forced to, because I'm hearing like with the Virgo energy, it's forcing you to, like, because they're not being your friend or like engaging with you as much as you thought, it's giving you distance from them, from the situation, from everything that's happening. It's making you really think through things and reflect upon like how you've gotten to this spot, what they said, what they did. Again, Mercury retrograde is like really highlighting these relationships for us. And with that Venus and Jupiter conjunct, that transit that we're going to see this week, it's going to bring a lot of pieces to the puzzle. It's really going to highlight why you've gone through what you've gone through. Unknown. Oh, wow. Okay. So like, because I think in a lot of ways, like, you have been stepping into the unknown. As much as this was meant to happen, like the learning lesson or whatever, the experience, right? What you went through, etc. It was meant to be, but that's also why this offer was so alluring, because it's forcing you to step into the unknown. It's forcing you to, or it has forced you to face your fears, face your shadow, understand that, like, you know, the bottom line is we are always protected. Like, we are always supported. Even if we don't feel that or see that on the physical realm, there definitely is support on the spiritual realm. And I'm constantly reminded of that in my own life, right? Like, whenever anything seems unachievable or unbearable, or like, it's just that reminder, I've always gotten through this, you know? And that really is facing the fear. Fear can be so annoying because it does make us believe things that really aren't true. It puts us down. It puts us in a space of anxiety. And that's 100% this confirmation of why it's so important for you this week to root down, to find your stability. I'm a huge proponent of self-care. Ayurveda is all about setting up time, just like a daily routine, daily structure where you're doing both activity and rest. But it's actually really honoring. I was thinking about how it's like sacrament to our body, the way that we support ourselves on the physical, in a myriad of ways: eat well, meditate, get some exercise, nourish our mind, in good positive ways. That's not all technology. Like, I love technology for sure, but it's that value of really like just honoring our physiology, mind, body, soul. And when we do that, we set a really strong foundation so we can manifest what we want. And I think a lot of like what you're moving through in this experience has kind of showed you where certain things might trip you up, or where you need to be a little bit more mindful of someone's secrecy, so that you can make choices that actually are what you want from a place of stability and empowerment, right? And it's giving you that. Like, it's a little scary, I think, maybe sometimes when we see that we were wrong or we misstep. That's a little humbling, and that's kind of how you feel this week. Like, you're just trying to kind of process through it. Be kind, be gentle, take care of yourself, love on yourself this week, Aquarius. I hope this reading helped. Thank you so much for your time, energy, always. I hope you found messages that resonated for you here. Definitely drop comments below if you did. I love to hear, or just say, hey, share in a little love, little TLC. I so appreciate all the love, all the support to the channel. No, it blesses my heart, and I'm sending love and blessings back to you.